Getting my props ready. And I'm going to wait for people to tune in a little bit. I don't really have anything specific to say other than something I'm not. Couple things. One thing, I feel like it's more meant for somebody else to hear it, but maybe in general. But then the other thing, I don't know. I just kind of want to wait until we have people here. I don't know. And other than that, it's whatever you bring into the chat, and that says it in the title too. Just a moment. So, but I do realize that the like button um, does different things these days, and it might be a little confusing to people, including myself. Where like I was watching a music thing once, and it liked it and put a music note briefly there, and that I guess made sense. But then there was a podcast I was watching. It was like Mayim Bialik and someone who I didn't realize was her brother, who was in Mike and Molly, a show that I feel, or not Mike and Molly, sorry, Joey and Melissa, or Melissa and Joey, actually, I think, which I feel mixed about. I guess it's media that I'm talking about here. I feel mixed about that show right now because of an episode I saw for a couple of reasons, but one most strongly. Anywho, and I didn't realize that the guy on that show, I'm pretty sure that's who it was in this, although I didn't, I don't think I noticed a name or even know what his is. Um, but he is apparently, it sounds like they might be step or half siblings. It sounded like they had one different parent, but they are siblings. So that's kind of interesting. Um, anyway, and there was a couple other people there, and I went to like that, and I put a ha, and I'm like, well, I wasn't laughing at anything in specific. I was just giving this a like, and so that kind of, so I realized that chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not, that YouTube might be being a bit confusing in that way as they're kind of changing kind of formats. I've also seen it react with a couple other icons, and I guess it's just something that I'm not super familiar with seeing and don't quite understand. um, just gonna put this here for just a moment. Alrighty. Okay. Of course, some of these people, if they do work, they might be at their jobs. But then again, people work different hours. I actually was watching, I think it was Price is Right, and Drew had said something that good thing that they were doing this at 2 a.m. or something like that. And I think he was joking, but I'm not sure because that would be a weird time to film. But I know, like in the movie industry, you know, sometimes you're wanting evening shots, photo scenes or whatever, and so you might do that then. But yeah, just want to check something to my friend, my new friend. I think that I sent the one where I said that I'm rolling. It's kind of confusing how it's displaying these. So. Well, I mean, she's the one. So let me just quickly see if she's getting any good song requests that I can do while I'm waiting. Um, I think I've looked at that before. I shouldn't do that on the same as here. Okay, come back here. Nothing, nothing, nobody, nobody, nothing. So sorry about the wobbliness, by the way. Before long, we'll probably have to replace this couch. It is old, and I wouldn't mind one that's a little taller, and the cushions on this thing can slide a little bit, and other ones that they move around. And I don't know, my knees are a bit sore today too, actually. So just trying to, and I'm doing this on a laptop. So maybe I should have we were chatting first thing earlier this morning, but it wasn't done. So I did ask what he usually do on his days off, so maybe he ended up going and doing those things. But yeah, always, first of all, this may not be my best video. I don't know yet. It's too early to know for sure. Because yes, it is very much based on, what people comment and chat. So, you're still welcome to comment, even if you don't see this live, of course, and that's, I think, pretty obvious. But yeah, I came across someone not long ago who at first seemed to be kind of saying that, oh, I missed it live, so I'll wait to your next live. I was like, well, but I did a good one that you did miss. Why not check it out? And she did. It's all good. But um, but yeah, basically, I'll state, and I think this is also obvious, but in case it's not, that I'm interested in these career fields and hobbies. I mean, I would do it as a hobby, and I kind of do, but I'd be even more open to doing them as careers. And so, yes, if you do or have interest in doing any of the careers mentioned above, if you'd like to talk about the kind of work you do, and it's not those things, I mean, I suppose, but especially those things, I'd love to chat with you about, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll put some questions in the chat here. I haven't been rolling super long, but I'm glad to have you here. Um, what might I ask? I mean, it kind of depends on not so much the person, but what kind of work they do. I know I mentioned music, so the questions that first come to mind for a musician might be, "Are you in a band?" I'm just going to put these for people that tune in after I've said them. Um, what instruments do you play? What types of music or songs? What else do you think I should ask? I do see that we have somebody that's been here for 2 or 3 minutes, and welcome. Glad to have you here. Curious if you've ever been to this channel before, and if not, how you came across it today. And yeah, don't be shy. Um, what types of music or songs? Um, at the moment, I don't know what else is coming up in that area other than tips for getting into the industry. But I would say that about, any of the ones that I mentioned in the title. Um, and then I think I put photography. So the question could be what type, and again, I'm just putting this for anybody who tunes in afterwards, but also saying it in the video. What types of photography do you like? Um, any memorable especially memorable jobs you had in this area. Then I mentioned uh, healing type of work. I mean, and again, there could be other questions that come off of these, but I mean, the one that makes the most sense with that one would be what type of healing work do you do? And I guess that could mean, it's work that you find healing for yourself, or it's work that you where you help others to heal. So I'll leave that kind of open. Then I had nonprofit. Um, okay, so that's all I can kind of think of on those topics, I think, until we get into some discussion about it. We got a like, and I'm glad to see that. Happy to have you here. You know, that well, maybe I'll wait to see. If you comment, I have a couple. Maybe that's something I start doing. Is I have a couple kind of questions that I ask. When people are tuning in. I haven't been rolling super long, but and so I might ask those in a moment. I also put some along the side. From the people, of course not. I mean, it's true. Some people, they come into the video or they don't fully realize what about the time. They don't process all the, details that are like written or whatever. But I know some people maybe just want to watch. They don't want to be made to feel like they need to chat or and such and such. But I'm not forcing anybody. I just want anybody who sees my channel to know that. I mean, it's lovely if you do and you feel open to doing so, and I'm sure we'd have a lovely chat. But I'm also just saying it in a general sense, for others that come across this. And yeah, so I was just sending a message to somebody. Don's busy though, and so I've been in a band, play guitar, piano, sing. Yeah, so do I actually. Wish was in a band again. Yeah, that would be fun, wouldn't it? That would be fun. What types of music did you do? And yeah. Um, uh, most types. Yeah, same here. Certainly not all of them, but most of them. I have no interest in really talking about metal at all. I I don't mind hard rock, but I don't like metal fans, you know won't find one in me. um, um, I'm not hugely into jazz or blues either, but I don't hate it. I just kind of find it a little boring. a little samey, and I really like stuff with lyrics. Not that jazz doesn't have lyrics, but yeah. I'm not sure if Study Relax Meditate is still there because it kind of doesn't look like it for some reason. But hopefully they'll be back soon. Photography, people, and pets is fun. I agree. I'd love to be doing more with both of those. Pets could be hard to photograph because they don't speak the same language as us. Sure, they will hopefully be trained enough to know some commands, but the question is, would they follow those commands? Would they follow those commands from somebody who's not their owner or trainer? Usually, okay. I mean, um, but yeah, I mean, so because yeah, like I say, they're just a little bit more hyper sometimes, and again, they don't understand what's going on. They're just there, you know, doing it, or they don't, you know. I was just had a thought. I wonder how often people aren't involved, other than the person photographing, in pet photography. Um, and also, does anyone work with dogs in the industry? That would be very cool to find out. It's amazing, how the types of things that they can be trained to do, and yeah, how they can kind of uh, deal with that. See, that indicator isn't right at the top, I don't think, because your messages are coming in, but it doesn't say that you're here. I notice that from time to time. It does happen. But yeah. I don't know which way I like it most. I think this way. I don't know. Um, I guess I'm thinking they could ask me, similar questions or this and that, but I kind of have already said that I relate to playing those instruments, having been in a band, even kind of being wanting to be in one again. Um, we've kind of related on the genre thing, uh, and the photography thing. So I don't know. I guess we're at a bit of a standstill. Um, and yeah, and wishing you success. Oh, thank you, and I hope that you find some as well. It sounds like you are working in those areas, and I'm happy to hear that for you. Um, And yeah, I sometimes work in those areas. Sometimes do. Okay, cool. I don't know why I'm singing, but why not, right? It ain't necessarily a bad thing. So, yeah. We do have somebody here, it looks like now. Somebody else has tuned in, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, welcome to the channel. Curious if you've ever been to it before, how you came across it. And yeah, looks like you left. Wow, so much for that. Doesn't look like our main commenter thus far is still here, but he or she did say wishing you success, so that may have been kind of like a wishing you success, gotta go, bye for now kind of thing. So, take it. I'm also just looking at another chat, person's live stream chat that I sometimes follow. I don't mind her stuff, and I don't know if she's ever been to mine, but she does have a very unique sound. And honestly, I don't hate it. I don't like it as far as her singing, but she seems like a nice person. And I don't have as much of a community with hers as I do with Maxie's, I feel like, but but I do have yeah. I'm a little bit confused about this one person's comment, all in caps, but whatever. I am also in love, but no one's giving attention. I am broke. And it looks a bit like an avatar, but all of them hating me. Hmm. I don't know what I think, but I'm going, uh, I just kind of messaged him. He felt like people weren't talking to him. Uh, and I know that can feel annoying sometimes. um, Somebody named Elvis. Um, just because there's nobody currently watching, and uh, he also seems like he's not speaking English somewhat too. but he also is. It's also real that chat settings on mine are different than in somebody else's, it seems like. But I guess that's part of helping me to kind of monitor things, I guess, a little bit. So, oh, I just realized that that person that goes by Elvis has something else in the middle of it, but then also Presley. 7. As if there's that. Well, actually, there probably is because of impersonators. Which I guess is another form of working in the media or the industry, is like, you know, tribute artists. Um, well, technically, I can't listen to it because I have this rolling, so unless I was to queue up headphones, but I'd have to put them on Bluetooth and do those ones and I'm noticing that there's been a couple of likes, aside from somebody who likes meditates, and I appreciate that. But and I don't know if this person on this other person's chat who didn't actually seem to really be enjoying being there. I don't know if he's trying to find the channel or they're trying to find the channel. I mean, I said how to, so I don't think it's that tricky, but Sushant, I don't know what that means. Oh, it's kind of gotten quiet and boring. Welcome to a day in the life sometimes. Maybe if Maxi was live. But then the only thing is that they'd be just tuning into him. And like as soon as they get there, that I wouldn't feel as good about kind of, you know. Chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not. Which I think I said earlier, but just a reminder. Wow. It is quiet in here. It is quiet in here. It is quiet in here. Um, I understand if I'm not saying anything, then it's not as amusing to people, but there's nobody else here saying anything either, so it's not as amusing to me. I mean, it's just one of those ones. And I know, maybe I shouldn't do it that way more often, but it's the way that seems to feel most natural to me. Um, and sometimes sometimes, it does work fine. Let me just check in again, see if nobody's here. No. And some people that work in those areas, they also don't work full time. One, because they can't find the work that often, or that they can't find enough of the work to be full time, or they just don't. But some people are. I think it would be a blessing that some people uh, do, but and those are the ones that aren't here, I guess. But what about the others? Where are y'all? Yeah, but he does wear the hat. He probably wouldn't be. I mean, not that she doesn't, but she doesn't care. But yeah, I think, like I say, this is pretty obvious that I'm curious about these industries and to talk to people in them. I mean, in some ways, what else is there to say unless people are, like I say, saying stuff as well, you know, building up the conversation. And the answer is not a whole heck of a lot. Davidson. And I remember she was talking about one of the commenters, and I wasn't seeing who it was, and they were kind of sounding the same, but that's obviously somebody different. I think because I'm seeing these ones. I mean, I'm not saying, sure, maybe seems a little bit needy, like he's, wanting their attention, but I'm not saying anything that should make anybody, be certain ways to him. And sometimes when that's the case, when that's the temptation, the best thing to do is to ignore. But um, if somebody's annoying or whatever, but annoying you, but no, I don't see. I don't see what the problem is with him. I mean, he goes by some, or the individual goes by something so generic as well that, and I also know that you can't take it from him, I'm pretty sure, unless that's something new. I thought you used to be able to, but that must be the other site I'm used to using. I think that maybe was mistyped. You know what I'm going to do? I don't know what to think of this individual because I don't know. But the thing is I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to focus back on this screen for a bit. I mean, nobody's here, so what's there to focus on? Like I don't know what else to say. And I mean, I'm not actively working in those industries, and I haven't done a lot in them. So I mean, it's not like and I've talked about it a little bit as well. It's not. There's nothing. Yeah, I just keep thinking there's nothing that comes to mind until somebody says something about them, about the those industries. I thought of some questions, but I don't know if I have answers for them myself other than what's already been said. And actually, if what's his face, who's seeming to really just like being in that chat and having some sort of something, I'm really thinking. But then he might be seeing comments that I'm not seeing. People haven't looked for, but or they might be. I don't think he's a troll, but I can't say for sure. Man, Jonathan, you're gonna feel real bad. Hey, like, oh, I missed it. It was so quiet after the first bit, and then, I mean that was only like 20, maybe 30 minutes worth of this video. I mean, I appreciate it, but I mean, some of the questions I ask because I don't have the answers. Like I say. And some of that stuff, I just feel like I talk about it often enough that I don't really feel like I want to anymore. Oh no, I thought that was a stupid song. No one knows what it's like. So, okay, it's a person, or it's a Despacito instead of Despacito. Okay, sounds like he's leaving that chat. I'm gonna give him a few minutes to come into this one. And if he doesn't, the heck with him. I'm sorry, but I can only be so patient. You know, it's not like there's other people here talking. So, and the thing is, I know that these industries, I guess a lot of people are interested in them, but are they interested in working in them? That's the question. Um, I would think maybe in some capacity, I don't know, not everybody, obviously, but most people would be. I mean, it's really fun stuff. And I know a lot of people like movies, TV, music. I mean, that's fairly universal. Okay, there was somebody very briefly there for like a few seconds, and then left. And I don't know what that's about, but I don't think it was night, so it must have been day. I don't think it was John, so it must have been Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. Which is actually a song if I want to try and do a song, but it's a goofy kid song. I don't know. I mean, we all have favorite kid songs from our youth, and they're like classics to us, right? But do I want to do that song? I don't know. Not really, no. And no, I don't want to say that one part, but at the speed of sound, you can see it, then you understand. Oh, see if I'm from the you can see it, then you understand. Da da da. What song is that? Da da da. Da 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 da. I have a guess as to what it is, but I don't think it's right. I just want to look up the lyrics to a song. I guess I could look at the lyrics to the one I was just singing, but yes. I saw a channel name a moment ago in that other chat, and it was 8-bit something. No, actually, it was just 8 bits. And it made me think of a song, uh, King of the Road. In it, it's not by an 8 by 12 4-bit room. What the heck is that? I'm going to look it up because nobody's here to answer it, and they might not know anyway. Okay. 50 cents to rent. Shows how old that song was because I don't think you could rent that cheaply these days. Actually, I know you couldn't. 8 by 12 will be my means by no means king of the road. Board by midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. Ha! No worn out suit and shoes. I don't pay no union dues. Oh, I have found short, but not that big around. By no means, by no means, but be a safe king of the road. There's also kind of an awkward line in that song. I've lost hope in night, but not the night. I'm gonna marry the night. Shooby doo 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 doo. I'm gonna marry the night and sing "Welcome to Berlin." If I knew somebody's number, I would call it, and they might come running here. But I thought they had notifications turned on, and turn on, it's clear. Yes, I see that number. Okay, Maxie, where are you? You got the peeps that make me green. You got the cherry baby. Some people may say that don't know that song may saying, "Oh, that sounds high and screechy." That's kind of the way that song goes, and a lot of music that is considered golden oldies, Motown, is like that. I mean, sure, I could sing it as Sherry baby, Sherry baby, Sherry, won't you come on tonight? Come on tonight, come on. But why would I do that? It wouldn't be as fun. Just kidding. We remember way. But we remember way. Hush, my darling, a lion sleep tonight. Hush, my darling, don't be my darling. The lion sleeps tonight. We. That one's a bit harder to do, not high. We away. I thought of that song when I did the other one. I have seen Lion King live actually, and like that was a really well put together production in Toronto. Yeah, man. There's some really good questions asked here, so I want to keep it here to that's interesting. Somebody's saying that this one musician that I follow, her version sounds like the original, and she's got like a almost. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it like Mariah Carey, but like multiple tones in her voice. Sometimes in like one note with multiple tones, if that makes sense. And I would think that there's not many songs, even though she does them okay. There's not many songs that she does that sound like the original. So I'll be curious about that. Maybe I could play just a snippet because I asked her once if I could sing along with it, and she said, although it'd be better in the device I'm not recording with. Um, and she basically just didn't know how to do it. But oh, that's intriguing. somebody wants to collab in video on her video with her and perform with her at some point in time. And I think she'd like to make it in the music industry. I don't know. I think she's more of a solo artist. I think that's what her main interest is, from what I mean, it's the only way I've seen her perform, but that's just what I sense too. That's so weird. I can't find his channel when I type it in exactly, and it's kind of unique. And I even added the filter to it, so I'm not too sure why. But if he comes to this stream, I know I can do it that way. I won't be able to roll as much in a couple days. I could soon be talking to Elvis Presley, not the Elvis Presley, because well, unless we're talking from the afterlife. But and I'd be curious if he considers himself to be a tribute artist of Elvis, because I know that I put that in one of the questions. So other people could see that link and tell that it's YouTube and hopefully come check this out. I almost feel like I have to step away from the screen for a moment, run upstairs, take care of something, and I also don't really feel like I need the light on in this room anymore. It's not like it's super sunny, but I feel like it might be a little bit brighter than it was first thing in the morning, and we might be able to do without having the light on. It's really rainy. But yeah, so you can see what there's somebody there for a few seconds. That was weird. You got that song you mentioned in my head now. And we have Elvis to thank for it in more ways than one. There's something I kind of want to say to what he mentioned in this person's chat in here, but I kind of want to make sure he's here first. brightest. I said I can't check out my stream. You gotta tune in. He says, "What do you mean?" Unless he's like, unless he's confused, but I don't believe his name, which is also kind of funny. Sorry for the quiet bits, by the way. I mean, I should have said this earlier, like I usually do, but anytime that happens, you can skip ahead. You know, no one's telling you have to sit through them. It does seem like it's getting a bit sunnier out, though. So I'm going to do one of the two things I said I was going to do. I also am hungry, but I don't know what I'd be eating. Oh, other than what we have for dinner, I'm really looking forward to my lunch out the next couple of days. Desperate measures. Oh dear. Um. I hate to be away while if he tunes in, but I did just catch a glimpse of this screen, and for some reason it dropped really quickly today. I hate to go into that room because. Actually, I think I can get my fix it. I didn't use it that much. I don't really watch videos on it, so I'm not really sure. on the video. I'm going to be back on the screen in just a moment. I'm just also wanting to take a quick look to see if it jumps out amongst the many music books. I have an Elvis book, but I haven't played from it in a little while. And like I say, we have many music books and sheet music, so finding it may not be super easy. I don't want to take too long looking either. Is it? No. That's okay. There's also the internet. I can look it up, I suppose. Doesn't look like anybody's here. Go back to there. See what we got going on. Well, I did tell him that it was quiet, which is why I was there, and clearly I was multitasking a little bit, and I never promised you that I was going to sing it this one, although I think I did sing a few snippets, so there is that. Because I'm obviously rolling now, I'm not going to try any further than that, I'll tell you that much. Right away, this book, so I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm hungry. Oh, right, I just plugged it in. Hopefully it won't be bad idea to just quickly go to, I mean, I guess I have been doing that. Toggle on the same window, or sometimes just in general. There's a kind of hush on this live stream tonight. It's the sound. You can hear the sound of lovers in love. You know what I mean? It's the two of us and nobody else inside. Da, 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 holding you tight. So listen very carefully. Close your eyes and you can see what I mean. It isn't a dream. The only sound that you will hear is when I whisper in your ear. Kind of a love song, but it's a fun melody, right? I'm curious who does it. Hermits, perhaps? Oh, yeah, okay. And I looked up their stuff recently. that would be a great segue to Maxi being live because he has an admin that has the word hermit in her username. I don't know how many of their songs I know. I do not know. Hmm. But I might know some, and it's a bit of a trigger also because I probably learned a lot of their stuff when Anya Francis, and I'm not sure how she's doing lately. In fact, I meant to look at one song more, and I still do that. And also, same with the famous person that my mother and my step met recently in their travels. And as cool as it is and everything, I'm a bit jealous. And I think added to it uh, is the fact that I'm wishing to be in the music industry, and but maybe I should be finally telling myself something different. You know, that particular person's in her 80s. Is she gonna, she is still doing music, but maybe not for much longer. And, one, because she's been doing it for so long, and two, she might not be able to really have a music career much beyond her latest project. But also, what do I think that she would do for me? I mean, like, other than, say, I wish you luck in the industry. It's a lot of fun, but it can be hard at times. I mean, that kind of thing. What else would she? I mean, there's on briefly for a second. What else would she say? I do not know. So I guess what I would hope but the project that she's working on right now is a lot of her unreleased songs. So they're not ones that a lot of people know yet anyway. So, I mean, I don't mind learning new songs, but I'd feel more confident if I was performing with her doing songs that I already know of hers. So, take me on your last tour. How's about that? But I don't know if there is one or if it's just this album project that she's working on. Keep it running. But I gotta do it until it works. Damn it. Yeah, I think the volunteer thing. I think I need to take a chance. Hope that it's a better experience uh, with more stable people in the environment of wherever I go to, and hopefully I find some good options and take a chance. I need to, may as well. The unfortunate thing is that the winter is coming, which makes it a little bit less easy to do it. But maybe there'll be some virtual remote options, which at least is doing something in a purpose and making more of a difference than this hit or miss YouTube thing sometimes. And then you know, um, then yeah, I really should have made more of it during the pandemic. When so many things were remote. It's not that I didn't do any remote things, but almost everything was for a while, right? It doesn't really matter where you were in the world either. I don't think, for the most part. And it's not that I don't like going out of the house, but it's the whole not driving thing and the whole not liking transit that much and not being able to afford cabs that much. I mean, what do you expect me to do? I mean, and that's also as much strike, but I got for September. I don't know if we got any October, but hopefully it lists soon. Trying to remember why we didn't go with direct deposit, but we could always request to do it, but I couldn't find the number. I think that's why. I'll wait till the person tunes in, and I guess, like I say, if I have to look it up on the internet, then I will. I mean, I can pull that up now, probably, because we have it in one of the books, perhaps the one I was just looking at, but if it's not, I don't know what book it's in. Not much about either. So that doesn't work out on as I screw it. Not meant to make any music possibly these other ones. They don't get it in. What is this? And part of me thinks that's why I meant to make it, because I can't handle video. But most people don't like it, wouldn't like to be. I took the time in a bottle. The first thing that I'd like to do. And every day till eternity, with you. But there never seemed to be enough time. But I have waited enough time. Screw you, Barry. I don't want to go through time with you. I've been around enough to know. Well, I don't know where Elvis is now, but in that chat, and the other two, hasn't been that long since I tagged them but it hasn't. But it kind of has been. I don't think I know if I have any other Jim Croce songs. I don't think I do. But look how quick I was willing to cater to that song request. As far as Tara doing it, I don't know if she would. I mean, you get to know certain types of performers, and I don't want to say it's her age, but she does know mostly modern stuff. I don't think she's going to know that song. I've even asked her before, actually, what's the oldest song that she plays, and I don't think I've heard her do it, or that she noticed. Sometimes her chat is quite active, but we do have someone tuning in. I'm sort of hoping it's someone from Tara's video, but I said sorta. Okay, but welcome. But whoever we got here is meant to be here. I feel like, and to join the chat and song request and talk about the topics that we have before us here in the on the video. It's flash to zero again. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they feel bad that they wrote Terrace, but they were there for a while. They were actually listening. I often do, but today I'm podcasting, so it's kind of like I'm just looking at the chat. Good golly, Miss Molly, where is everybody? I know there's a lot on YouTube, but and then the other people listed, but I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to, you know. Yeah, it looks like one of the best doing it. I remember they were on screen. They were just talking about some game or something. Sometimes we gotta take it where we can get it. That being said, I haven't noticed it being super quiet in the room without the radio on, but now that I'm kind of thinking about it, it kind of is. I can't believe I've never seen that abbreviation, WAU. What about you? I knew what it meant instantly. I see HRU more often or HBU, but WAU? Not so much. Hop on the scale. Oh, wait, just kidding. And I won't judge. I promise. That's 600 pounds, then I would say eat better. I like a little bit of light exercise every day. Which, by the way, I should get out there and maybe go for a bike ride soon. I was thinking about it. It doesn't look like it's too windy out today. Uh, it's not very warm though, but it's sunny and everything. Uh, and then tomorrow is, where does he 20? Okay, the weekend. So tomorrow is 7 degrees warmer, and then the next day is double what it is today, and the couple of days are around that. I thought that was 60 degrees at first. So enjoy the fact that it's not winter, is what I'm kind of thinking. Guys, too many blue hearts. And that being weird to that person, so. I'll warm for another maybe 15 minutes, and then I'm calling it a day as far as this goes. I wish I could say now. Because there are things I'm looking forward to. And, other than kind of the evening routine, which, maybe same food I often have, and I may have found us some stuff to watch, but other than that, it's kind of. Mm-hmm. Maxie, where are you? Mm-hmm. I think he's going to be on in about 7 minutes. So it makes sense to try for a little bit longer because mine I'd want to wait for about 15 minutes after it. I mean, it depends who's in there and if they're there right from the start. Because, yeah. But I could maybe say, because he knows that I'm in there to just chit chat, and I might be listening to him, and I am sometimes, and otherwise, no, he doesn't really look at my comments. It's not that his English ain't great. It's just he's got a lot of people in his chat, and he's probably started. He doesn't even seem like he takes a lot of time to notice it, but I think he probably has noticed that. I'm just having conversations with people there while he's doing music, so you know he might not even read it, but I think I know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that I have been rolling for a long time, and things were quiet a large part of the latter half. I'd like to roll just a little bit longer and make it worth it, and then wrap her up. So I don't he'll be just starting and going for 2 hours. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Watch this be the longest 7 minutes ever. Just got a yes out of the guy this time, so that's some progress. God, might as well be a dentist pulling teeth sometimes. I guess I should leave the dog in, or is that because if I'm gonna go for a bike ride, I'm hoping I don't get soft because there was a pair over here earlier, and he's in there right now. I don't want to get him all hyped up. I don't really want to bike without socks. One, because it's cold, and two, because it's not as comfy to do. In fact, there was two pairs there before. Wherever they all went, I don't know, but it's amazing. Y'all put me to sleep. Each and every one of you that aren't here. Part of me wants to figure out something to eat when I get back. Part of me haven't eaten a lot this morning, and part of me thinks I should eat a bit more before I go, and I'm kind of hungry too. Maybe if I bike ride around the area. Okay, now I got an okay out of him when I sent the link. So let's give it a few minutes, and then, like I say, also Maxie. There's a lot open right now. You know what? I'm gonna. He wasn't the one asking for that one, but I was eating up. How do I add this to this window? I do easy, just like this. Then I can multitask a little easier on the screens. But I'm also, like I say, wanting to eat, so maybe I should do that. So I'm going to take this to the kitchen and see what we can find out there. We're sort of in between grocery days. Oh, well, we got two people here and a new like. So I'm very thankful for that. It was quiet for a little while there. Ray Guitarist, hi, how are you? Okay, I'll put off making lunch. I was just, I've been sitting here for a while. It was active at the beginning of the podcast a little, and then it was quiet for a while, and I was getting hungry. But yes, where are you watching from in the world, by the way? And I'm pretty sure it's your first time to this channel. what I was thinking I might do is play you a singing bowl set that I have. And thanks for the like and support in that way. Remember to subscribe if you'd also like to do that. And I've never seen such tiny mallet before. Unless I can get the dog worked up properly, but whatever. I just want to see what the view is. I don't really know the data. And we got somebody else here too, so don't be shy them as well. This one's really cool looking inside, actually. We have a collection. Authentic from Nepal. I'm guessing you're familiar with these. And if you have a song request, not on these, but in general, or anything you'd like, cool, or anything you'd like to talk about based on the title of this video, some of the conversation that you can see there, either of you, that's a harp. I don't like the higher sound ones, but as much, but the other person in the home does. I'm going to bring this back over here. I kind of want to stand for a bit, so maybe I will do this in the kitchen for a bit. Yeah, and you're welcome to contribute any other things that come to mind, either of you from the chat and the title. Yeah, where are you watching from, by the way? Like I say, I think. Oh, you'd said, and that's right. That's why I thought to say it, because I don't know if I would have known by RAI, but the spelling I may have. But you had said Nepal in Tara's chat, which is why I thought of the thing. So that's cool. I'm in Canada. Have you ever been? And yeah, what else? I don't know. I'll give you a moment to work on writing something, because why not, eh? And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna try and multitask here, but I'm just gonna look and see what I might want to have for lunch. I'm thinking it's gonna be that. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, now it says here, but that might not be accurate. It might be at least one of you still here. I don't know. If I'm thinking about lunch, I'm not going to be rolling much longer, but we'll see. That was nice that he came and liked. I don't know if he's still here, though. And I'm not, if you are, I'm not crossing my arms to give off some sort of body language message. I think that, I don't know, I sometimes feel like people put too much emphasis, or whatever you want to call it, on body language. They, think that it always means something, but it doesn't. Like at that moment, I was just simply crossing my arms, and saying, if you did leave, why? And otherwise, don't be shy. It is before noon if I wanted to have more coffee, but I don't really need the energy after this. If I doze off, it's far enough away from the nap, and I'm fine with that. And it's really too bad that tomorrow is not Friday. There was a certain reason other than that it's always nice when it's Friday. Well, it's for me, it's always nicer when I'm closer to the things that I have coming up in my schedule, but isn't necessarily any particular day of the week all the time, so, things that are a bit, easier to predict, that I'm going to, be socializing or going to be going out to something, so. Save every. I got that stupid. Well, not stupid, but got that dang time in a bottle song in my head ever since somebody mentioned it in that other chat. I'm thinking maybe they just wanted to come, see out of curiosity and maybe open it on his device, but wanted to go back to Tara. I mean, if he's into women aside from her music and that, then I'm not representing as one right now. So as you can see, so maybe it's girls wearing guys drool in this instance. Hey, saying that randomly, kind of makes me think of a little something something. Or, I told him about the Bulls, so maybe he's like, okay, I came and saw the Bulls. But if he was already familiar with them, then not like it was anything that interesting to him, I suppose. Yeah, I can't complain though. He gave it he came, he said hi. But I expected the world. No, just kidding. No, I don't think I want to do that song actually, but or possibly that artist in general. Because the mind does things. Oh yay, the mind. Actually, it's 5 minutes late. Tis tis. If I could put time in a bottle. Oh, I don't want to be too loud with the dog, but sometimes I'm doing something where I'm speaking a lot at my device, and sometimes just that, and then you can be a bit distracting sometimes. So he wasn't being, but I don't even think I'd started until he was up there. So. Okay, so I'm going to have the rest of this. And it's going to be good, everybody. Part of me wants to have it when I get back from bike riding, but I'm not going to be out very long. And if I need to, I'll put the heat on from chili. Part of me also wants to try deep fry this. I think it would just burn the bottom though. What's that plate I had? Did I not grab it yet? And some of the people, I've been trying to think, there's one person for sure that I came across via my friend Maxie's video the other day who I don't think I'd seen there before. The other one, there's been a couple times where she went there first, so maybe she'll come here, and then she pretty much knows that he does at the same time. My mother's being a bit difficult, but kind of, sort of. Why this isn't there? So we got no, we got that. I don't know why it was making all that noise. It's not hot yet. He's got the rest of his in there, so that's fine. other who's being slow, even though he's not got a lot of work right now. I guess he's looking for it. That's the thing. I'm trying to figure out his life, but maybe he's talking to me about it. Okay, here's Maxie. Woo! It's just simply that nobody's there yet. I think is what that is. Well, I hate to eat on camera, but I'm quite hungry. The camera is rolling. I have reason, as mentioned, that I want to roll for at least another 15 minutes, I think, although I did say that about 15 minutes ago, but I kind of want to do it, but I think I'm more likely going to want to do it the one tonight. Do I really want to do it for both? Maybe we can think of breaking inside the third one. Just a little. Just a little. I actually, yeah, just a little. Don't make it a lot, otherwise then it's not a little. Maybe on this device it'd be very good call. I'll think about it. I guess it's true. I did ask, do I need to be there for the answer, though? I don't know. Like, I know that she can, though, too. I do recognize that name right away. Somebody sending a hot pepper for some reason. I want to talk to her a little bit, though. If nobody's going to talk to me, I'm going to talk to them more. I can be the one to talk with her more. Can't you see how I feel every breath I take? I will be the one to love you more. I can always get something after I get back. I don't have to go very far. As long as I get out for a little bit of a bike ride, it's good. Wow, it didn't take him long. Got like 3 or 4 different people messaging, including the rusty woodpecker. God, that doesn't make sense. I don't know what's actually what my going to do this now. I prefer this view better, I think. I wish I could pause this and then come back. Like I say, we've got, some good reactions, some good questions, a good topic. So I don't want to just wrap it up because I'm eating. Watch, as soon as I actually start eating, somebody will tune in. Just like when I came to the kitchen a little earlier. Which means I should have let my hunger dictate what to do sooner. All right, well, bon appetit. Let's do this. Ooh. I'll leave the pan on hot element that I'm not even at. We're cooking anything now. I don't want to cover up the sauce that's there. And I'm going to be having that sauce on stuff later, so it's okay. That's probably okay if the dog gets that little bit. See, I told you. I knew it. So with this podcast, and you can see what it's about in the title and the chat, it was a little active at the beginning. Then it slowed down for a while, and I got hungry. So I just actually made it, and you left. So at least it looks like you have. So that's okay. Probably best not to talk when I'm eating, especially something like this. I'd really love to have the radio on light as well. Maybe a bit of salt too. Although I think you made a lot of garlic with it. Not from the side. A bit of the seasoning, probably. I'm just gonna bake plate. Sorry. Not that gross. We all eat. And sometimes with other people. Oh, you know? Hmm. Hmm. I don't think that's really recognizable about the playing. So hopefully YouTube won't get mad. I'm just gonna actually turn this to not show me too much what I'm eating. Of course, I'm also looking at this chat. I don't know. This is more noodly than the pre-made frozen ones. It's not like there wasn't noodles in them. I'll just cook them thicker. Cook them in the water, bake them in the oven with yellow stuff in it, which keeps it from its burning. So I just want to briefly step outside and see how cold it is out. I'm gonna go out there. There's a plan on how to put the zero outside. I mean, no sense just sitting here if nobody's here. I've said all I can think of to say. And yes, I do have a health condition. I know it may seem weird that a health condition would require this, but it's called anemia. Or the reason I need it. Still have to keep track of who's everybody in the chat, though. It's already 12:30. Twin? So that's boring. I gotta see that. Not that I think he's, well, we all have lookalikes. I don't think he looks like Dylan, but in 64, no, I still don't. I don't know. Does he seem like the type that's going to do Bollywood, like just on the spot, or whatever? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. If you, I mean, even if you listen to this one guy that I'm familiar with for a few minutes, I don't think you'd request Bollywood on him because that would just be a little silly. Should more people do it? Sure, maybe, but yeah. See, this feels long, and even on my really chatty ones. But I know that there's a couple that have done that have been close to 3 hours, so that's a bit surprising. That I almost didn't remember it, and when I look at how long this has felt. It's just in between stations, but that's probably better for YouTube's uh, no rules, essentially. This one's kind of coming through clearly, though, so I sort of want to be talking over it just because, yeah, for reason mentioned. But I ain't got nothing to say. Feel this up between. Watch it be me that understands. It's like, oh, you're saying this song. It wasn't a cover. That's what the original was. We recognized it because they were great singing. Yeah, they say it that way, right? Yeah, I don't know if I really feeling the song anyway, so I don't really feel like getting up and changing it. Here's never happening yet. But I think it might be more obvious now because I do feel like I'm using this thing a lot more. and I also haven't been around her a lot in the past 3 or 4 years. And the one time, once or twice, I think we went to a couple things, or did we only make it to the one at the theater fest this past year? The year before, I think we went to. No, I think we only went to one then too. But no, I think we did make it to two this time, or we were certainly talking about going to another one, or more than one performance, different shows. You know, it's one of those things where I hate to tell her that I don't like. I enjoyed doing it, and I do remember going to it with her. But I'd be curious if she remembers. Well, I kind of want to watch this chat for a bit until 1 o'clock, and then maybe go out briefly, and then I have a phone call I want to make, and some other things I want to look at online. He's only been rolling for 3 minutes. That doesn't feel right. No, he should have been rolling for 30. Oh, a bit late. No, if he started, maybe he started at 12:30, and he's my clock's a bit slow to his. Hmm. Because yeah, I don't like when it says okay, no, 22 minutes. It didn't say that a moment ago. I don't like when the duration's like count other thing as opposed to just saying it's this much in. It's like it's you know what I mean? Like it says it in two different ways, and the one way I find it confusing. But it also didn't say it that way at first. I don't know why it took it a moment, but oh, cool. Well, there's two different ones now, so that's got to be. I'm just going to turn this radio down a bit and turn the light on because it's clouded up a little bit. I'll turn it down completely, I guess. Okay, one of my friends that I've met through somebody else that I follow. I just think this is I've just invited to come here, and she usually does. She hasn't been in this one long, but I said the point that I. I'm sure I typed the right one. Whoops. Yeah, although some people have been able to find into the eating rights, but when I've looked, I've not been able to. I don't really know why. Like when I type it in search. No, I am going to send that one. That preview all my streams. You can see the one that's live. Oh, I'm missing the cheering for each other. Yo. Right. I mean, I don't know whether to look that song up yet because once, kind of twice now, I've been kind of at the ready to do a song for the person they don't come here. I mean, the one that did come here briefly from the other one, he didn't come very long. I mean, again, I'm thankful that he liked. I'm glad that he said hello. One other three-letter word, yes. And then went off. But it is probably pretty late in India too. So, um, but yeah, I wonder if I don't know. I think I would only do it for the person that's requesting it. I don't know how many other people would necessarily like to hear that song. Not that it's not a good song. It's a little bit. I thought that was him for a moment there. It's a little bit. For lack of a different way to put it, lovey-dovey. But let me just look because I do know one or two of his other songs. I think songs. Did I say songs? Didn't mean to. Mm-hmm. Now that's not just about general dancing. That's about that's about he did answer the question when I said, by this title, do you mean this? And No, he meant another one, which I knew. I know, and I actually kind of prefer, I think. So if it comes here, I'd like to do it. And he's asking Maxie, who's a guy. Oh, hello, Anonymous. No band, no music, no theater. Odd me, I know. Glad to have you here. Yeah, because I know we talked about music. Well, the other one I could add to it is fashion. I know you're doing a bit with that. I also asked a question 1, 2, 3, 4 above yours, which even though you're not in a band, I'd be curious your answer to that question. And since I still haven't received a photo of you, it might help put a kind of a face to a name if you say, oh, well, they're kind of similar to me. Or put a. By the way, nobody else is here at the moment. And the other day at the end of Maxie's video, I don't know if you noticed because he was wrapping up and putting a bow on it, but I'd asked if you can take a look at it. It's like I say, above yours. It's the one that I put, and it's just under the study, relax, meditate, enjoy. Last comment there. But I'd asked if you use Facebook Messenger, and you can send me, how, a link, and we'd be able to chat there too, and that could be kind of cool. I can receive the emails. I just can't seem to send them to you for some reason. Also, I do know that you're into photography, and that was one of the areas that I mentioned. And healing work. Yeah, I really appreciate that. It was really quiet here. If you study that too far an exam and rest, the options are not applicable. Huh? What? As in cramming and overstudying? Do you want a song called Why Don't You Just Dance, which is a bit lovey dovey, but whatever? Would you like one? Because there was kind of two floating around here. I must have left the other one out there. Would you like one called Me and God? I feel like I know Time is Love, but not well. And yeah, little secret there. I'll tell you about that later. But no, basically, okay, so aside from the things that I've just said, the question is yeah, I'd rather wait till most of the students at the nearish by school are back in from lunch because then they're not cluttering up the street while I'm trying to bike through them. So are you saying then that you would like to join or that you would consider joining a Taylor Swift tribute band and like being the singer or what? And yeah, I don't know much about her new album or her new music. I don't even know that much about her music in general. I know a little bit, but and what kind of photography themes interest you? I think you sent some nature ones before. Is that a job you could see yourself doing? I mean, I know that you're studying a certain area which you probably want to get work in, and hopefully you do. And I think that it's pretty likely in that area. There's a pretty high need. But like on the side, would you do photo jobs, and what do you think that would look like? Oh, okay. So is there a musician that you like enough that you would say, oh yeah, I'd perform their songs 5 times a week, uh, you know, with a band if I had a band and got the gigs, kind of thing. Okay, that wasn't quite what I was asking, by the way, but I kind of thought maybe that was the case. And I mean, when you're studying, it's hard to juggle both. But Taylor, it is then, and Francis, Florence and the Machine. Just kidding. They've got a unique sound from what I recall. I should look into them more, but I don't like the band name. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll let you in on the secret later. Although I guess I can't email it to you. We're 2 hours in. Dare I say it here? Dare I say it here? The other person on this channel has an old channel, basically, and I can still go to it. And so I gave a like from that channel, and yeah, because it was just looking so pitiful for a while there and so quiet. But three of them aren't me, and you know that you're the one commenting here, and the other one there. So I actually know somebody last name Swift. Not well. I've met her at a couple times at a festival on I think just the 1 year actually, and she's connected to G uh, in the GNC, but she's got a new baby and she's not really. It's not a close contact of ours, but I don't know if I've ever thought about how they must be related. I also knew one on my a page that I don't remember his first name. It's been so long. All I remember is that I believe he was black, and I believe he lived somewhere in the States. And we got two other people here. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Don't be shy to join the conversation and the topics that we're talking about here. And I'm curious if you've ever been to the channel before, and if not, how you came across it. Swift is common, even I know some. Oh, really? Okay, I don't hear it often. I don't even hear Smith that often. I did hear it recently, and I know that's weird for someone who's online a lot on a couple of different platforms. And well, somebody on our street not far from us is a Smith, and actually, it's very interesting. I don't have sleep dreams very often, uh, but I did last night, and I've been watching Price is Right a lot now. Down to one, I'm thinking it's you. But that was kind of weird. Anyway, but watching Price. Remember to like. I appreciate it. I've been watching Price is Right a lot. I don't, and I've heard the name Leanne a couple times recently, and I guess kind of Anne as well. But I don't really. I don't really. Yeah, and I was dreaming that we were like putting. I guess I'm looking forward to my lunches out coming up. But I was putting out food, and there were cardboard like food boxes, and one of my friend Leanne's good friends was there, and I hadn't seen her. Thank you. Hadn't seen her in a long time. Hadn't even really. I thought about it maybe a couple months ago, and there was these really nice looking buns and some sour cream with what looked like chives or green onions on them, and which is kind of interesting actually. I should maybe have that at some point. And basically, she said, "Well, if it was just us, that would be fine, but to serve it, in the for whatever reason, greasy cardboard boxes." Maybe the subconscious, even though he hadn't done it recently, was G telling me, "Oh, don't use plates and this and that." But I don't care that much, whether I do or not. And I'm often having the same thing. That's one reason I'm looking forward to going out. And we're going to be at a place that has a restaurant in it for an event that is, it's also a hotel, and it's got a rental room. And my mother suggested a couple places that are at least 20 minutes down the road from there, not that place, for going for lunch. I also told her I wanted to stop quickly in the food court at the mall the previous day for something. And I said, yeah, we'll have more time to eat out tomorrow. But she's, and so she did kind of agree with that, but she also kind of seemed to be saying that didn't make sense. Anyway, point of the matter is, I don't know why she was suggesting those places, one of which actually had something. Yes, some people say it was an isolated incident, but actually had something kind of disturbing happen quite a while ago. Even G's living sister, who is does get anxious easily, called it an isolated incident. It's like, sometimes I'm ambivalent about life, and I could take it or leave it in some ways, but it's kind of like, but if I if I was to die, I wouldn't want to like experience any pain. Or I mean, I want it to be quick, and and maybe a stabbing would be, but I mean, it's not really the way I want to go. You know, enjoying a nice drive in the car I don't drive with the license I don't have, which is not very likely. Then, like my dad did. Um, you know, or I don't know. I know this is a weird question or whatever, but it came up. If you were to die, how would you want to die? I don't know. In my sleep, actually, it would probably be, which was also part of how Dad passed away. Would probably be my choice. Uh, and yeah, like I say, because this incident that had happened at this one restaurant, and it's kind of like tea with green onions. That's interesting, but I guess it could work like constantly. Um, I was very surprised that my mother made this suggestion though. And the other one's kind of seafood, which I'm not really into. I like the seafood, but I don't like seafood. And we don't have to talk about it because fish are gross. I don't even want to talk about them. That's a famous. Is it? Who made it famous? Me? No, I was kidding. I don't really need that light on anymore, but there's some clouds in the sky, so it keeps going behind them. I kind of do want to do that song, but then I saw some of his other titles, and I'm unsure. Huh. But I think I'm going to look up a playlist of his. Not that I don't have a bunch of other things I want to watch as well. I'm glad that you're here. Like I say, I'm not playing, and you can look. I've been rolling for a long time, so I'm really not going to roll much longer. But speaking of Turners, though, and I'm thinking of Denise and Moira, I was laughing at one of the Price is Right ones I was watching yesterday. Actually, it makes me think of it. But I was once at a dog groomer's place, and the lady has a dog, Cindy Lauper, that she's had as show dogs, these poodles. And one time, Dean Martin was there. I actually think I remember them saying from Vegas, but that may have been a joke. But the one that really stood out was the one they were calling Tina Turner. And it was this black poodle, and it jumped up, not like fully, but its front paws up on the counter, and it had a little thing hanging off, like, clipped on its ear. It's some of its fur or whatever to look like an earring. And it was just like that. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely Tina Turner. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Tyrone or Tyrion? That's a neat name. Tyrion? I like it. Yes, I know it's Josh Turner. I'm going to watch some more Price is Right. I'm going to watch the thing about the retreats to get some ideas to my friend. And yeah. Dare I ask what was his answer and what is yours? But I asked other questions and maybe they weren't meant to be. But what do you call it? That's a fictional character as well, right? But around the line of Game of Thrones, Patricia Rutledge, speaking of Jesus' sister, isn't her, but has a similar name, recently passed away. Do you know of her? I forget what the show was. Keeping Up Appearances. And I can't remember what other one. There's somebody briefer there, like, oh, they're talking about British shows. I hate that. Hey, it was on topic. I got back to the topic at hand. Earrings reminding my ear piercing that are going to fade away because I don't wear anything. Oh, I see. Don't find them comfortable now that you pierced your ears, or just don't like the earrings that you have, or trying to be a bit more, give a bit more of a masculine vibe, or what? Not that men can't wear earrings. Okay, you gonna tell me or what? Then again, maybe it would worry me a bit. I mean, I'm sitting here talking about celebrity dogs, and you're sitting here talking about your earrings. I was kidding. I know I mentioned them. Okay. Then speaking of dogs, I want to get back home, let the dog up from upstairs, because he went up there when I went up earlier, and I had been planning to podcast, and I thought he might be distracting, and And yeah, I kind of did remind myself I wanted to go for a bike ride. So I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like. I almost covered it once before, though, but for whatever reason, I didn't. I'd not like before too old. Yeah, hopefully you do great work and are a great success. What do you mean I'd not like before getting too old? You mean you want to accomplish more first? Even if you do that while you were young, then would it matter? Just kidding. You know, I'm not saying that I want either of us to die, but I mean, I know I sometimes, like say, have the ideations, but we know that when we do, we'll go to a better place and that we're good people. So I feel that that's fairly guaranteed. And yeah, we got loved ones there, and so another reason I want to be there sometimes. But also because I'm trying to make it in these industries that I posted about, and it's been a slow slog lately. Um, in my 20s, I kind of took some courses for interest courses and that. Um, but and if I would have known what my 30s was going to look like, I would have tried harder then to, I was kind of new to where I live, so I was trying to make connections. May have been here for a few years, but I mean, I don't know what I would have done differently, but I would have maybe tried to do some things differently. At the same time, I lived it to the best of my ability, and it wasn't, it was mostly good. So yeah, well, I mean, I'm almost 40, and I don't want to have to get much more older before I feel that. I mean, I think I told you the other day on Max's video that person I helped out, and I don't know how much I've helped out, but he seems appreciative. He wanted to stay in touch in a different format as well. So we have. I decided it felt right. Um, you know, Somebody that gives you the time of day and the attention and the appreciation and hears you and makes you feel valid and seems to like chatting with you is pretty much those are wins to me, and that's precious. I realized it may have been because of that dream, and it was just as simple as I explained it. The reason why sometimes I wonder why if people are related to people if they have the same last name, and whether it's and it's not Smith or whatever. Aside from curiosity, I think it's because when I have people in my life that's special to me, in one way or another, and it's interesting to discover those small world kind of things, and I want someone to talk with and to talk about things I want to talk about, but I also want to hear about what they want to talk about and what's going on for them. And so it doesn't often transpire to actually that connection. Sometimes people never see my asking. Sometimes they say they're not related, but I'll keep trying. Watch, I probably know one of your relatives. Wouldn't that be funny? Be ironic, but I don't know what your last name is. But I do know that you're the only one here right now. And I also see that you could actually say it and then remove it, and I just say the first name. But I don't think you're originally from Asia. You're just living there now. But not like you're from Tennessee, I believe. Anyway, one more dark thing I'd like to die alone. I'm curious, like I say, you're the only one here, and even if you delete it right away, I'm just curious what your last name is. Just wondering. And then, yeah, maybe I'll send you a messenger. and you can always remove it afterwards, is to like don't think so much until it's like mm. And then also I kind of get the want to die alone, but I kind of don't. I don't quite understand that. And I think you're not saying you don't want it so that somebody else dies with you. But maybe you're saying that too. But I think you're saying, okay, yeah, I don't know. That's a lot. Okay, that's cool. Well, I don't know anybody with that name, uh, but other than you. But are you blonde? Out of curiosity. Um, and yeah, basically, as far as dying alone, um, or like just not dying with somebody else watching you take that can be a very special and tender moment. I've never done it. I do have a relative, you know, from a blended family that recently did it. Like I say, with your sister, but and actually a few people that were in her province, but and my mother had to identify my father when he passed away young, but um, well, other people won't know your first name, but believe it or not, that's actually kind of common. Are you blonde? Do you look like a model on Insta? Or do you like lipstick? Nice pictures. But yeah, I just enjoy my company so much. Really? Well, you don't say you have none. You do have some, but you don't have as much as those that are older. But in some ways, you could say maybe that you have more, right? And so, but I also kind of understand what you're saying with that too. I think. Oh, cool. Just got some good news in the message. And she works in fashion or has had a fashion store. Just a moment. I'm being distracted here. Oh, that's ironic because I thought of him recently. Sorry. Okay. I makeup if it's done lightly can be all right. It's amazing that you've actually kept it there, but still nobody else is here, and there's other comments covering it up. And one of us can move it if you want. But are you on Facebook? I cannot believe how common that name is, but I've never heard it. Like it's really common, like really, really. But a bit of browsing in my mind, or you can just send me your link in email. Oh, you're not? Okay, well then I guess I won't. Except for this, okay, and email. I mean, those count, but okay. Well, um, I'd still love to see a photo of you. Somebody else recently sent me one of his. I almost didn't see it in the message. I had to click something first, but I don't think with the photos you sent me before I did. I mean, because you're seeing me here, and you have many times. So I'm just simply curious. That's all. Uh, and sure you've got a great style about you, and yeah. Um, Other than that, Did I go from Maxie's? You probably should get back there. And then, what topics are you studying right now? What specific areas of study are you doing? Really, you had a teacher with your last name? I mean, I've been around. I've lived more years, and I've never heard it. That's I've heard of a first name that sounds like it, but that's interesting. And that's also a movie character, I believe. I've never seen it, but just looking at the Maxi chat for a moment. But I think I am going to wrap up very soon. Thanks for your sharing your honesty. Mr. Videotape, how is that for vintage? Doesn't look like I've missed much that's jumping out at me. I'm prepping for an exam to get ready entry into medic school. Well, yeah, that's the thing what the goal's been for a few months now, eh? We're down to the what, 3 or 4 months now, I think? But competition is heavy. Mm. I mean, it's not something for everybody, but does pay well. Well, depends where you're at, I suppose. I know that they're always demanding for higher pay and going on strike and this and that, but what's the word I'm looking for to describe Maxi based on what Monica's saying? He's a we'll just go with Radioson. You thought I glitched? No, I'm just multitasking and being slow, kind of, sort of. Yeah. Well, I'm so thankful that you were here, and it got a few other likes as well, because I really hoped for more from this podcast. I thought it was a great topic. People work in the industry. I thought it would be an amazing discussion. But I should know that there's lots of things on YouTube, and people sometimes judge too quickly. Smart man as far as what? But yes, I am. Thanks. I know. I prefer to say individual or what's that phrase? No, not intergalactic being, some sort of being. But yeah, I try not to fit solely into the male gender in some ways, and I thought you knew that, but maybe not. But anyway, if not, now you do. But um, yeah, and it's been relatively quiet. I hope people commented afterwards. I'll have to remember to. I think I did select that, but I may have selected something else since. So let me just take this. I'll have to remember to add something to the comments. Right. But what were you saying I was smart about out of curiosity? I mean, I'm not denying it necessarily. I think I'm smarter than I often get credit for. Oh, and to answer your question, I can't remember exactly what it was, and you did retract it. Maybe you thought it was personal to him, but all I could say is, yeah, we're in contact. not just on YouTube. And remember to send me the things I was curious about. I'd love for that. But and he is kind of chatty. The one day he was getting ready to go. Oh, it's not like it's that hard. A monkey could do it. But and he said he was off of work today, so I was actually quite surprised uh, that that I was actually quite surprised that he hasn't tuned in, because, to be quite honest, it does sound like, and I'm not just saying this, I promise, it does sound like he's got the hots for me, and he wasn't at work. But he may, with his struggle, he may have been out trying to get, you know what. And seems like Ken sent links in there. And oh, did you? I didn't think there was anything wrong with what you said. Well, I shouldn't say that. We shouldn't say that I've cured him. It's kind of interesting because he said he was 39 and he's been at it for 34 years. And I said, I don't know if I did say, but I was about to say, so you started when you were 5 or 6, but he's meant to say 3 to 4 years. So, I mean, that's not something that just talking with a guy on a couple of podcasts and a few emails is going to say, okay, but hopefully in time, something that I suggested and, the conversation that I can provide to him will hopefully improve his life in that way. It's so easy to go to those kind of things when I don't know if I'd call it that either, but maybe when we're struggling in life, different coping strategies that people utilize, right? And some of them are, very addicting. But it you have to have a lot of things in place and then gradually withdrawal. I mean, I've never done it as far as with that kind of stuff, but we do have a second person watching. I'm curious if it's Monica or who it is. I noticed that you said fabulous, but that may have been to Maxie. I'm not sure. Either way, you can see what the topic of this video is about. You can look at the chat. Whether it'll display afterwards or not, I don't know. I think I set for it too, but I am going to go for a bike ride shortly, place a phone call shortly, and do some other things. I have been rolling for a while. By no means do you have to watch all of this. In fact, some of the parts of it were quiet, but I was patiently waiting, and then I had some lunch, and we actually have to study about all that. So I know. Oh, do you? Really? Okay, I'm not that surprised, I suppose. What do you mean you addressed it wrong, though? People get into addictions? I mean, they're vulnerable before and during the addictions most of the time, too. I mean, and this is just a general sense, you know. And yeah, withdrawal symptoms, like most often, cold turkey is not recommended, especially if you're a daily and have been for a long time user. As per you. Again, don't be too hard on yourself. I don't think it was wrong. You didn't know the name of the person. So, I mean, but you knew just that about him. So, I mean, I would hope he's not offended by that. And I don't think, I mean, compared to some of the people in the Maxi chat recently, thankfully, I don't see such people very often, including just a few minutes ago, as well as the other day, as you know. Uh, yeah, you're not. But yeah, and that's the thing. I believe in putting people that are being rude, bullies, whatever, in their place. At the same time, it's fueling them. Part of me thinks if we all just ignored them, they would stop. But it's going to take more than just a couple people ignoring them. They'll just be like, okay, on to the next person then, I guess, like that. I had an example just the other day. uh Monica, is that you watching? We've had someone here for about 5 minutes aside from on, and I'm curious. Glad to have you here, by the way. Don't forget to subscribe and like and all that good stuff. But um yeah, I woke up the other morning to somebody in a group, and I mean, this is deep in. I mean, even though, they don't seem to have much to do with their time. And I mean, I sometimes have a very slow, stagnant life. Sometimes I feel like it, but I'm still not that way, and I've got such a good heart, just saying, that I don't understand people that are. I don't get. I mean, people say, oh, it's how they feel about themselves, and blah, blah, blah. And I kind of make sense of that, but it's kind of, I would say in real life it can be harder because there can be physical components to it. I would say it actually is a little easier online, but maybe we all feel a little bit more impulsive online. But no, basically, this guy said, are you testing? She had been sleeping for a few days with a Fitbit on, monitoring things. Realized it was a bit awkward, uh, but yeah, basically, and also I know that sometimes new symbols show up when you hit the like button, or sometimes you do it, but it undoes it. But anyway, basically, this guy. So I asked about something locally. Let's just say that. And this, and sometimes I get this in writing. Sometimes I do. I honestly think that they're not that literate or not trying that hard, but some people don't think my writing ability is very good. And, but this was like a 2-line post, simple question. Other people were understanding it. Got about 6 or 7 comments in a group. And this guy said, try English. And he did it anonymously. You're a cool anonymous person, but and so I couldn't block him. So I said, try blocking, please do. I can't remember. I may have said one other. Oh, I said other people seem to understand. He said, and I bet you there was well, there was about that many. So it's not that some people had blocked him and didn't know, but he says there are 7 people in the whole World Wide Web, and none of them answered the question. Well, that wasn't true. All of them had. Um, and basically, and this was, and I looked at it, and the comment came in 50 minutes prior to when I seen it. So at like 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. I understand some people are up early, but that's what you want to do first thing when you get up, or at all. Like I say, and and then he was also asking somebody else who, I don't know if it was just that her last name was before her first name, or there was something about her. I don't know. And I got kind of iffy vibes. He was like, "You're super hot. Want to go on a date?" Out of the two things, I would say that's not so bad, And I also um, agreed. No, just kidding. I didn't look that closely. I also, it was the type of group, not a dating group, but it was like a food related group. So, I mean, but so anyway, I hated to be a Karen, but he just ruffled my feathers, and I thought, there's no need for this kind of thing, So I told the admin, and she noticed, and she was going to give him a warning. I said, but part of me thinks, like, this is just the way he is, or this person is, and you should just, get rid of him. We don't need that energy in the group, and she did. But what she didn't do, what it's not all about looks. I will say that, but hey, I'd rather date an attractive person. It's in their beauty as well. That is true. But I think for most of us, when we have a someone we want to date, we're looking at a bit of both. If we're truly honest, we're looking at a bit of both. Reminds me of this comment on a Price is Right video I saw where Bob brought the girl up on stage with him, not to the other one I saw today, but the other day, up on stage before she bid to do her bid, actually. And it felt a bit like a call out, which didn't seem right to me. But the other guy said, oh, come on, she's wearing a skirt like that. She wants to be, wants to be appreciated in it. I mean, you got to, and can't do anything naturally, and you can't do anything about that. Then, cover a night, if someone's a movement, they're going to like them. You know what I mean? But and I kind of agree with that point too. But no, so I mean, I think that most of us, we may say inner beauty is very important, and it is, but I would say a little bit of external, you have to have a physical attraction to a person too, if you're interested in hooking up with them in some way, and hopefully not being a player. Make sense? Capiche? But yeah, so basically, which kind of goes into the modeling thing. Like, I would like to make so many people feel beautiful, and that can mean a lot of different things. But unfortunately, I'm not getting to do many photo shoots, so I remember there's the internet, there's this, that, but sometimes I'm out and about. It's like you almost want to ask the person. It's harder when they're a guy. I also made a post. I don't know if I want to up myself this much, but maybe seeing me in video form, if the people that know about these posts, like we got one person that's been sitting here for a while, and then there's you. I saw not that long ago, speaking about something we were slightly speaking about earlier, and then I'm going to wrap this up. But I saw not that long ago a guy wearing a dress. I'd seen him many months ago walking down our street, and this was the next street over and down a little bit recently. And basically, but like I'm not trying to say I'm superficial or anything. But anyway, basically, I almost wanted to say you're brave. I support and accept what you're doing, but didn't come out. And then we were kind of near noisier traffic, and he went the other way. I think that, or they, whatever. I think that was kind of what they intended to do anyway. And I posted about it. One, in a neighborhood group, thinking maybe this person will see it, and two, just because it resonated, as somebody in the community, essentially. And basically, some people liked and hearted and cared that. In fact, one I was familiar with from an old Facebook page that I had. She has a famous last name. Speaking about last names, she might be related to a celebrity, McConaughey. All right. Anywho, and her first name, actually, his name is my neighbor. Anywho, point of the matter being is there was one person though that said that but one person misunderstood my usage of the word holler. Because I think I said I almost wanted to holler out. Well, I wouldn't have said it in my regular speaking voice because I was across the street. Like not with not a lot of busy traffic at that spot, but But yeah, so they misunderstood holler and thought that I was saying like cat call or something. But one person did say that they probably just want to go about their day. I mean, so it seemed to be mixed. Nobody was being super rude or anything, but some people were more on about the English thing, which is my only language actually. But and some people seem to be accepting it, and then yeah. And then maybe some people were actually seeing the person as slightly feminine and thinking, well, as a woman, but some women don't mind, And I think you can usually tell. I don't like this dating hookups, blah, blah, blah. It's overrated for me and understandable as well. As for me, though, like just to speak to my, I don't know if I want to say it's character or whatever, but like I remember that. And I've only been with like in a relationship with the one I'm with now. As far as romantically, that's actually only been with partners. Doesn't mean I don't notice someone attractive, but yeah, so anyway, that was a tangent. Monica tunes in at that point and says that it was. Yes, you were here for quite a while, and I do appreciate that. And I know that you hadn't been there for very long, and you got things to do, and you got to get to bed. And I'm quite tired too, honestly, and I got things to do. So thank you. And to the second person, being shy for some reason, but I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully, you enjoyed something that was said. We talked about a few topics while you were here, I think. And remember to like and subscribe. And if you're unsure what to think about something you're hearing, you might be misunderstanding me. So ask questions and I'll clarify. Okay. Bye to the both of you. And have a great rest of your day. And like I say, I mean, even though I have a couple plans coming up in the next couple of days or so, I might find that I still have time to roll. And you both left, and I was leaving too, so I mean, it makes sense. But sometimes, even when I say I'm wrapping up, they don't leave until I'm like done rolling. But it's all good.